offer a few services for that. It just depends. Like from earlier, I stated that you go into a basement and you see a foundation wall that's doing a bow. It's got a bow and it's starting to catch utility lines, or you're seeing a gap, where you can almost reach your hand through, or not, little gaps. If it's so bad to where it's a real bad bow, where we'll just lift up the frame of the home, tear down the wall, and rebuild a new foundation wall. Encapsulate our cinder blocks with concrete, reinforced concrete, rebar. We do it the right, the way an engineer would come in and inspect it. Everything we do would pass any kind of inspections or codes. And if it's not as bad as like a bow, if it's just a small little breaks here and there, it just depends. If there's no inward movement, there's no settling, you can repair it by doing some tuck pointing with some mortar sealant. You could use silicone sealant depending on how the severity of the cracking in cinder block. If you're seeing something like this going across, you're seeing that horizontal cracking or the diagonal kind of cracking that's going, we'll put I-beams, the vertical wall restraints. Usually on a cinder block wall, you got to have 4 foot on center, because how coarse these block can be, it's just not as strong as a foundation wall, a poured foundation wall, concrete poured. Cinder block foundation, you don't see it too often anymore. It's just an old, with where we live in Kansas City, the newer developing, the homes that are these new areas that are being built up are all being built on slabs and foundations. The cinder block is an older trade, and whether that's retaining walls, you might see more retaining walls and garden type walls or being built as opposed to them using that as actual foundation. Technology, obviously, and material and everything is not the same as it was 100 years ago. Sometimes you'll go into a 100-year-old house, and sometimes those are the best homes. They're just the way they build. It's weird how the material, everything is different now. Even specifications, everything is updated I like to say every 2 years. You get an update on a specification, and now it's just, it's more poured, everything's being poured with concrete.